It was the week before Christmas, and our office was buzzing with holiday cheer. The annual Christmas party was just around the corner, and everyone was excited to take a break from the daily grind. Little did we know that the festive spirit would soon be replaced by an unsettling encounter. Word had spread fast that a surprise Santa Claus was scheduled to make an appearance, courtesy of the Bearded Santa Company. The excitement grew as we eagerly anticipated the arrival of the jolly man in red. The clock struck 6, and the festive decorations sparkled under the office lights. Suddenly, the office door swung open, and a man dressed as Santa Claus entered. His beard wasn't quite matching the glossy perfection that we expected. However, he carried a sack over his shoulder, and his eyes darted nervously around the room. A hush fell over the crowd as the atmosphere shifted from joy to a weird uneasiness. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off about this Santa. His costume seemed hastily put together, and his belly shook more from nerves than a bowl of jelly. As he started handing out gifts, I noticed they weren't the usual festive trinkets we received each year. Instead, they were oddly personal, as if he had done some questionable research on each recipient. Whispers circulated, and people began to exchange wary glances. It became apparent that this Santa was an imposter, not affiliated with any reputable company. Anxiety filled the air as the realization sank in. A stranger with unknown intentions had infiltrated our holiday celebration. The imposter Santa Claus began lingering around, engaging in awkward conversations and also invading personal space. His unsettling behavior escalated, and it became clear that he wasn't here to spread Christmas joy, but he was here for something more sinister. We grew increasingly uncomfortable, and the festive atmosphere morphed into weird and eerie tension. As the party continued on, a coworker discreetly contacted building security to handle the Santa Claus. The imposter Santa, oblivious to our suspicions, carried on with his peculiar antics. Once security arrived, they discreetly escorted him out, ensuring our safety and putting an end to this bizarre intrusion. Later on, we learned that he wasn't from the Santa Company, but he was a person with a criminal record. "'Twas the night before Christmas, and the neighborhood was bathed in the soft glow of festive lights. As I settled into the warmth of my home, nestled behind the twinkling Christmas tree, little did I know that my holiday spirit was about to take a disturbing turn. A sound at the door interrupted what everyone was doing. It was the doorbell ringing. Curiosity mingled with annoyance as I made my way to the front entrance, wondering who could be so persistent on Christmas Eve. Upon opening the door, I was greeted by an eerie sight. It was a group of Santas, each wearing identical, unsettling masks that concealed their faces. These were the types of masks that you'd find in a movie like The Purge. Their eyes, hidden behind vacant holes, stared into the abyss. The festive red suits were tainted by an unnatural stillness as I realized something was amiss. Without uttering a word, the masked Santas scattered into the night, leaving only behind the echo of their laughter. Bewildered, I closed the door, convincing myself it was a bizarre prank. Little did I know, this was just the beginning. The following night, the same unsettling ritual repeated itself. I opened the door to find them there again, their laughter now louder than before. This time I yelled at them, now angry at their annoyance. However, they did the same thing and ran off into the night. As the days passed, the nocturnal visits became a haunting routine. Each time I opened the door, I would find them laughing at my face. With each encounter, I got closer to calling the police on them, and with each encounter, their expressions contorted into grotesque grins under the masks. I could see part of their mouths moving and laughing, and it was starting to get to me. Sleep became elusive as the anticipation of their nocturnal visits gnawed at my nerves. The once celebrated Christmas season now felt like a descent into a nightmare. Determined to unravel the mystery, I joined forces with neighbors who had the same experience as me, along with a few police officers. Together, we set up surveillance cameras and kept a watchful eye on the neighborhood. The masked Santas, however, proved elusive, slipping through the shadows with the uncanny ability to evade us. As Christmas Eve approached, the tension in the neighborhood reached its peak. On that fateful Christmas Eve, as the clock struck midnight, the Santas gathered outside my door for a final performance. They sang for the first time, as I finally heard their real voices, and as soon as they sang was as soon as they left. I had never seen them again since that night, and I don't want to anymore. Santa was a figure I used to look up to, but now I don't want to ever see him again. The snow fell gently that Christmas Eve, blanketing the neighborhood in a pristine layer of white. As I peered through the frost-laden window, a sense of holiday magic filled the air. Little did I know that the enchantment unfolding before my eyes would transform into a chilling tale. It all began innocently enough. My family and I had decided to build a snowman in our front yard, a whimsical addition to our holiday decorations. The kids were bubbling with excitement, their laughter echoing in the crisp winter air. We crafted a classic snowman, 3 spheres stacked on top of each other, adorned with a carrot nose and coal eyes. The following morning, however, a peculiar sight awaited us. Our snowman was destroyed overnight. By who? We don't know, but it was gone. Either the weather had torn it down, or someone had come by and destroyed it themselves. But as the days passed, something even weirder continued to evolve. We had gone to sleep and woken up the next day to find our snowman back again. This time, it had features that we didn't put on before, and they were increasingly intricate and lifelike. It was almost as if an unseen artist had taken residence in our yard. As you can imagine, we didn't really mean anything by it when we were weirded out by it. We just thought that some person had come overnight and did it, and that was the end of it. Perplexed, I questioned my family, and no one claimed the responsibility for the snowman. So we sat around the dinner table, whispers of unease filling the room. The neighborhood eventually took notice, and soon a small crowd gathered in front of our house to look at it. The intricate snowman had become a block legend, drawing spectators from up and down the street. Some even speculated on the involvement of an expert snow sculptor, while others whispered about the supernatural, especially when we said we weren't involved. Every night, the detailed snowman continued to grow and captivate the neighborhood. We were kind of getting sick and tired of everyone showing up and being on our street in front of our house. It was then, after we had set up cameras in the front yard, we noticed something extremely strange. A man stopped in front of our house around 2:30 a.m. and not stopped by walking. I mean, he drove to our house and he parked it right there just to get out and fix this snowman. The man, wearing a snow hat with a pom-pom up top and a mask covering his mouth, pulled out a Polaroid picture and started to fix the snowman in accordance to what he was looking at on that picture. He then looked up at our house, noticing the red light on the camera, which I'd imagine spooked him, as he went back to his car right away and drove off. That was the last we ever saw of this snowman sculpture, as no updates occurred from then on and there out, and the spectators slowly dwindled while the snowman melted away.